What's that? You're looking for a darker self-pub story with morally complex characters? Well, look no further. I want to start this video by giving a huge thank you to my patrons. Thank you for helping me pursue my passion. Hey everyone, welcome back to Andrew's Wizardly Reads, and as always guys, I am Andrew, and today I got another self-pub book review for you. But before we get into that, make sure you are liking and subscribing and hitting that bell notification so you can get regular updates for when I put out new content. Also, make sure you're checking that description box down below for the link to the Wizardly Duo Discord, as well as links to all my social media and information about my Patreon, where I do quarterly giveaways, my weekly reading wrap-up, and other general bookish content. And guys, today we are talking about Christopher G. Brenning's The Hellborn King, Book 1 in the Hellborn King saga. And right here on this amazing cover, we have got Damien Dreadfire. And guys, I love this cover. Hey, let's get in on this a little bit. We've got all this fire. We've got a gorgeous spine where that heavy metal font kind of carries through. And we've got a beautiful kind of continuation here on the back. And, I mean, it's so cool. Like, look at Damien's just standing there with his big old sword just, I'm coming for ya. And, guys, I love this story. Now, what is this story about? Well, to start, let's talk about where it's set and how things have kind of progressed to where we start out this story. This book takes place in the kingdom of Batanthia, which is ruled by the Bethard royal family, with King Malachus at the head, who went to war with the barbarians and beat them back many years ago. But those barbarians aren't quite satisfied with their lot in life, and so they are ready to hit back. And at their head is Damien Dreadfire. And Damien Dreadfire didn't come to play. He pulled together all of these kind of ragtag band of characters, these different tribesmen and things of that nature. Like, they weren't a war host until Damien forged them into one to seek revenge against the Batanthian kingdom. Specifically, there is a specific battle that he is super mad about. Apparently, at this battle, the Batanthian kingdom did a massacre, and Damien is looking for revenge, where he is seeking out the military leaders of that battle with Cedric. And he starts by killing Cedric's son, Alfred, in the prologue, which lets you know he is not here to play. But, you know, with the war that Damien is bringing on the Batanthian kingdom, sadly they are going to be caught flat-footed because King Malachus is not in the best of shape. He took a head injury in one of the final battles of the last war, and he started becoming more quiet, more reclusive. He started drinking heavily, he became more violent, and then he started wenching, and then that turned into how he started spending his days. He shirked all of his kingly duties and kind of pushed these onto a small council, who has then kind of taken all the responsibility of running the kingdom from the king. Like, he's still the king, but he's more of a figurehead, which can only be a bad thing. When you give small commoners more power than what the king holds in the kingdom, eventually they're going to get used to that power. So enter in Garrett, the crown prince. He's very much stuck in the way that his life is going. He has turned to drink to deal with basically the violence and the anger that is coming from his father, and how his father treats his mother, Queen Charlotte. She is very much a prisoner in the castle. The king has trapped her. He has become physically abusive to his wife. He's become verbally abusive to his entire family. He thinks they are out to get him, and his paranoia is running rampant. And Garrett doesn't know how to handle this. He feels very impotent. He feels like there's nothing he can do until he becomes king, because the small council treats him like a small child. They will not listen to him. They will not let him assert any authority as a member of the royal family, because the way that this society works is the small council has the power, and the royal family doesn't really have any power. They're the prince and the princesses, and they demand respect, but that doesn't mean they have to listen to them. They only have to listen to the king, and the king is not listening to anybody. So we've got Garrett, who is very much in love with Madeline, and Madeline is a Blackthorn knight, and basically the Blackthorns are this mighty military outfit. They're an order of militaristic knights, and she is a commander in this, and Garrett is very much smitten with Madeline, but the feeling might not be mutual. And so Garrett has to try and grow as an individual. But Madeline tries to come to the capital and be like, hey, the barbarians are acting up again. And then the small council goes, Madeline, maybe they're not as big a threat as you think. And Madeline has to then go and take a small force of knights and try and defend a castle, an outpost, a gateway into the Byzantine kingdom, in the hopes that they can beat back these barbarians. Now, I will let you know, this is a dark fantasy. We address some very, very dark themes here. There is sexual assault within this story. There is verbal assault. There is physical abuse. There is heavy, rampant alcoholism. There is suicidal thoughts of depression. All of that is addressed within our complex characters. Garrett is very much a depressed individual struggling with his alcoholism. His mother, Charlotte, is a battered woman because the king is very much into his cups, and he is not dealing well with the injury he was dealt at the last battle. And so we kind of deal with all of these issues. I mean, we have Lucetta, one of the crown princesses. She kind of moved out of the castle, and one day she decides, after years away, to come visit the kingdom. And she notices it's in squalor. There's, dead bodies in the streets, and there's riots, and there's debauchery being done out in the open in front of the princess. I mean, at one point, she gets struck in the head with a rock just because a crowd notices she's a part of the royal family, which lets you know what the commoners think of the current ruling family. That cannot be good when they can just get away with throwing rocks at royalty. And so she wants to do something about it. And again, she is very much treated as, you are a member of the royal family, but you have no real power. And so she devises things to do about it. And that leads to more complex stuff, like this family. Right here on the back, it says a kingdom at war and a royal family at war with itself. Lucetta blames Garrett for all of the issues in the city, but Garrett is kind of hamstrung because he is a crown prince with no real standing with the small council, and the small council only listen to the king, and the king is not doing anything. So it's a whole domino effect to where everything falls, and it is a giant mess that people have got to try and fix. Guys, this book is so awesome because the way it addresses the mental health issues within these characters is very, very compelling. Garrett very much deals with the fact that he feels impotent. He turns to drink. He's in love with Madeline, but the feelings are not reciprocated, and that just lets him spiral even further. I mean, he wants to be a good prince. He wants to be a good person. He wants to be a strong leader. And at every turn, he gets slapped down, or he is having to deal with members of his family. It's very interesting to listen how this family kind of doesn't work together, I should say. And structurally, this book is very awesome because the way, like you can see here, the chapter title is Madeline 2. So every time we jump a POV, this is a multi-POV story. Every time we jump a new POV, like we can see here, we have got Cedric's first chapter, and then the next time we come back to Cedric, it'll be Cedric 2 and things of that nature. So each chapter goes, hey, here's this character, but here's how many times that they have appeared in the book. So it kind of creates a great flow through of knowing where you are at within this story. I found it very helpful to know which number of chapter of POV I am on with this character, because if I miss something, I can then just go back to their last chapter and read something and go, oh, that's what is going on here. And it was very helpful to kind of keep this big, thick book. This is a 600 plus page book kind of straight in my mind. I ended up loving this book. Now, the sexual trigger here is at the very end of the book. Like, it's like right here. And guys, like it's a bit of a doozy one. So if that is something that you are not into, please be warned that it is here in the book, but it's not till the very end. And it's not like super graphic and in your face, but I mean, it's still a bit of a gut punch. And I mean, guys, I gave this book 5 out of 5. I absolutely loved The Hellborn King. The second book just dropped, and I am going to go ahead and put a picture of it right there. This book looks awesome. I've already got the ebook, and I cannot wait to dive more into Christopher G. Brenning's works. Guys, this book is just dark. It is in your face. There's brutal battles. There is great politics. There is a deep exploration into the minds of these characters. There is a lot within this book to fall in love with. Please, if you like dark, kind of medieval fantasy with great morally complex characters and interesting themes explored in a way that I haven't really seen before, make sure you are checking this one out. That said, guys, I'm just going to kind of keep harping on this and say, hey, make sure to pick this one up because it's awesome. So please let me know in the comments down below. Do you love the cover? Do you like the structure? Do these characters sound interesting to you? Please let me know in the comments down below. And as always, guys, till next time, peace out. Stay magical. Bye. And as always, I want to give a huge thank you to my patrons.